Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for checking out the Snoke Show. Today we have special guest Murpheus from the Kraken. Murpheus, how you doing today?
Doing great, Snoke. Glad to be here, man. It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm glad that you're here. I know we had Smoj on from the Kraken a while back. He was one of my one of the first three I interviewed, and he talked a lot about the Kraken as well. But today, I'm going to talk to you about the Kraken, all the different projects that's been going on, and then also get your insight on a few things that's been happening within Earth 2 lately. Sounds good?
Excellent. I'm ready to chat about whatever you want. Nothing too inappropriate, Snoke, please. Okay.
Oh, definitely. So, I got to ask, how did you get involved within Earth 2?
That's a hard question to answer. I can't really pinpoint exactly how. I just remember hearing the word metaverse, and as I'm like looking into crypto stuff, that word, I was like, what is this word mean? And on Discord somewhere, heard about Earth 2, went to check out the website and was just kind of blown away by the vision and what it was. So did as much research as I could, and then jumped in. I was what you would say would be late. I was probably somewhere around mid February when I jumped in, so I
Oh,
missed all
wow,
the
okay.
early fun. But here I am now, happy as a clam.
Well, definitely awesome that you're here. I know those 2 months, especially December and January, there's a lot of stuff that happened. But I think even after that, the people who still joined in still got here in the early periods of Earth 2. I think there's still so much that's going to happen. I'm excited for it. So,
Definitely.
right. So I got to ask, how did you get involved with the Kraken?
The Kraken, when I first started playing Earth 2, I didn't really know about the guilds and the whole aspect of meta cities or mega cities. And I just kind of floundered my way around buying the dumbest properties probably ever. um, got more into Discord, heard about the guilds, and just started, kind of joining a bunch of them. And I think the Kraken was the one that just resonated with me the most. A bunch of fun-loving guys, just with the pirate theme, and you know, sailing the high seas, booty, and that type of thing.
Indeed.
So we have a lot of fun there. Yeah,
That's awesome, man. I know, they're a great group of people. I talk to a few of them regularly, and
yeah.
so that's awesome that you'll be able to join them. So I want to ask, like, over the since you've joined Earth 2 and you've seen the progressions that's made, you've seen all of the things that has happened within Earth 2. What are your thoughts on Earth 2 as of right now?
Well, that could be a pretty complicated answer. There's a lot of yeah, there's a lot of haters out there. You got the YouTubers who people think it's a scam, and that's frustrating a lot of people who believe in it. A lot of conflict in that area, and you got the fact that people are. I think a lot of people expected more already from the game than what the devs have developed at this point. And my view on it is that this I never saw this as something that was going to happen anytime soon. Um,
Right.
it's such a massive vision for them to accomplish this thing. I'm fine where it's at right now. I think it's great. I think I've seen such insane amounts of creativity from the community when it comes to all these different guilds and visions of their own mega cities. I mean, the tile art out there, like who would have thought we'd have all these like beautiful pictures from a bunch of tiny tiles.
All right.
Um, and not only that, but more also like the relationships that have been forged. I know the Kraken's big on it. Just meeting other people within the space, like yourself, like the leaders of other mega cities and guilds, and just players in general, all kind of meshing. And hey, let's collaborate on this. Hey, let's build an embassy in your city, and you'll build one in ours. And we'll do all these different things, and meeting people like that through the game that we know in the future we're all going to be helping each other. I'm in an excellent place mentally as far as where the game is right now. I'm not such a technical person. I'm not a programmer or a coder. So when it comes to, you know, what should be done already or what should already be programmed in and what type of game we should already have. I don't really know how long that stuff takes. I can just imagine that recreating the entire Earth can take a long time, and I'm
I
okay
agree
with
with
that.
you on that. There's a few points that you brought up that I actually resonate with myself. For example, the people, the community, every person I have met with, I have talked to on this show, on the podcast, just in general. I mean, everybody is so they have their own background, and it's awesome to get to know them. And I think this community is amazing, and I think that's what's going to drive this project, or this. I don't know how I would say it as a project almost,
Yeah,
but the Earth 2
this
game,
thing.
I think the community is definitely has to stay together in order for it to succeed. So that's awesome you say that
Absolutely.
as well.
I couldn't agree with that more. If you got when the game is finished and we're in phase 3 running around with our avatars, if you have one mega city that's just the most beautiful shining thing the world has ever seen, and then every other mega city kind of sucks, Earth 2 is going to kind of suck. That's not going to draw people into the game.
Right.
And a phrase that I like to say when it comes to this type of thing is it's not about us, it's about all of us.
Exactly.
And the more that everybody in Earth 2 helps each other succeed, the better the Earth is going to be, and the better all of us are going to be for it. It's not about like who can be the best. It's healthy competition, sure, and fun with that, but it's not about putting other guilds down or like we're going to be the best and the rest are going to suck. It should be more about like how can we help each other? How can we collaborate? How can we put our ideas together to make this the coolest thing that's going to be non-toxic so that all these new people who hear about it come in and are like, wow, this is awesome. I want to stay.
I
You
agree
know?
with you 100% on that, and that's one reason why I joined Alpha Kingdom myself was because of the community and the premium brand they had there, and trying to make everyone's accepted, not really just to push people away, and that's similar to the Kraken. Everyone's pretty much accepted there,
Oh yeah,
and it is about the collaborative nature of everybody. So that's
yeah,
awesome, man. So I want to get into some of the projects that the Kraken have been working on. I know,
sure.
we have Hollow Buildings out now, and I know that we're going to be talking about that in a little bit. But before we get into that, let me go to this next scene. And so this is Dragon City, then. Is that correct?
That's Dragon City right there in all of its glory.
So can you tell me a little bit about it and how it started and what it became to?
So yeah, it's got its own little sectors there. And I think the biggest draw and why I wanted to highlight Dragon City is because of that gorgeous dragon racetrack, which, everybody's got their own kind of racetracks going on and different visions of F1 racetracks and different stuff like that. But this right here, my friend, is a dragon racetrack. And I think that's just going to be tons of fun.
Oh,
Uh,
definitely.
Dragon downtown is pretty packed. Rivermouth Central is packed right on the shore there. A lot of players seem to really love the space and have bought out most of it. There's still some room on the edges, but I can't wait to see what we do with that racetrack and then the theme park right next to it. A bunch of fun.
Right, and I know. So this is pretty much the map alone of the
There.
racetrack itself.
Yep.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, I have to pull it up. I don't think I have the full map of it.
Mm,
Uh,
don't
yeah.
see it. It's tough to
So
fit it all in one.
it definitely is. So
It's
okay, so
pretty
let's
huge.
right. So let's go ahead and we'll go on to this one now. This, if I'm not mistaken, is
This right here is Kraken Island. That's our financial district.
okay.
Um, we got so Kraken Island is we took our three cities on the island. They're all in pretty close proximity to each other. You got Pirate Bay, Skull City. Yeah, there's a good map of it, and then Kings Bay. And we just kind of said, you know what? Let's combine all this into our capital city on the island. And that financial district there was put together by our pirate lord Ronald, I believe, headed that project. It has all of your favorite movers and shakers in Earth 2 with plots there. starting with the Joker and many others as well. So
Nice.
very cool project. Yeah.
So I gotta ask, where is this located at on in the world?
This is Tobago, Trinidad. Pardon me, Trinidad and Tobago is our home.
Okay.
You see a lot of the Tobago flags flown by the Kraken members around the world. If you see a bunch of those, it's probably Kraken. Um,
That's definitely good to know.
so yeah, you got Trinidad is kind of a bigger island, and then I'm not actually positive of the name of the smaller one, but Kraken Island is that little smaller one.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty big place. We've got a nice setup over there with those three cities, three different kind of pirate themes, and all connected and you know ready to be awesome.
I like how you can even see on the map a little bit. It's they are connected, like right through here and right here. And then I like the names of them: Kings Bay, School City, and Pirate Bay. I like all that.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Now I understand you also have the Mendy Islands as well.
yeah. So Mid Islands, I actually love this project too. I own a lot of tiles here. Mid Islands is our Captain Morpheus, now Pirate Lord Morpheus, and pardon me again. His his goal with the Mid Islands is basically the funnest place in Earth too. All kinds of water
Ah,
sports.
nice.
Yeah, really just all kinds of water sports, adventures, and he's got a real vision of the place. Put a lot into it, along with some others from the crew, um, and that's going to be a really fun spot right there with a lot of little coves and islands, and just you're going to go there and do any sort of water sport imaginable.
That would be awesome. Now I also see that you have the downtown image as well, and then of Mindy
Yep.
Islands. This is kind of a setup of how you want the downtown to look like.
Fairly new project as part of the Mind Islands, say within the last month or two. Um, One of those things where you reached out and got all of your favorite big names and the big players in the game to collaborate on the downtown district there. There's also a racetrack that's a part of that and an amusement park. So another, big vision for the Mind Islands. And it's a beautiful place down there in the Solomon Islands. Gorgeous
Nice.
place on Earth One.
I'll have to check that out because I know I love traveling myself, and those are sometimes some of the best places to go to, especially if
Yeah.
you have water that blue.
Oh yeah.
So let me go ahead and there's some other ones. Now I know this is actually a 3D representation of one of your
Yeah.
cities as well, correct?
Yep. This is a 3D view with the tiles. This is the two towers project. Steve McCreeve is heading up the two towers, and this is kind of Lord of the Rings themed, if you will.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, he's got a great vision down there of one kind of dark tower and one light tower, one kind of evil, one good, and a lot of good things coming from that as well. He's got some PvP arenas there. There you can see them. You got the Terra and the Sky Towers. The Overwatch is going to be a massive battleground for people who want to duke it out in bloody fashion. Um,
That is going to be awesome. Now, I do see on this next slide, you actually have in a little bit of general of the layout as well.
Yeah, yeah. You could tell, you could see right there, and he made all those, and that's kind of his vision. They're both on a hill. You got two hills right next to each other that he's going to have the towers on with the surrounding land and other fun stuff around there. And then the Overwatch area down there on another hill, which is going to be the bloodiest place in Earth too, hopefully.
That is awesome, and I like how he did the dark and light for the dark mode for like Terra and the light for like
Yeah,
Sky. That's
very
awesome.
cool, very cool.
So I
Yeah, he's
oh, go
also
ahead.
killing it with the hollow buildings. Um, you can see those two towers of hollow buildings that I sent you. We can talk about those later too, but he's really putting in some work with the hollow building right now.
Yes, and we will get into hollow buildings in one sec. And before we do that, now I gotta ask. Now I know with pirates they all have a creed. I gotta ask: does the Kraken have their own creed?
So the Kraken, we are a full-on democracy, and that's you know it's not typical in Earth 2. Most of the guilds and mega cities are run by one, two, or like a handful of people. The Kraken is a full-blown democracy. If you're an officer in the Kraken, you have a voice, you have a say in what happens. Things are voted on democratically. Um, and I think you talked with Smudge about that in your last interview with him.
I did.
Sometimes
Yes.
sometimes that leads to issues. Sometimes people disagree, but everything is handled in a very fair way and voted on by all the members who care to be a part of the Kraken. So that would be our biggest creed, I would say, is to keep it as a democracy. We take that very seriously. And the other big thing that we always hold dear to any decision or anything that we're doing is that we are a bunch of fun-loving pirates. At the end of the day, that's what we do. And so our goal in Earth 2 is maybe not to be the biggest guild or, the richest or the strongest. We're going to be the most fun guild in Earth 2 because we're pirates. And pirates
They know how
do
to
a lot of
party.
fun stuff, man. Yeah, exactly. So we can look forward to that at least.
That is awesome. All right. So now I do want to show a picture of the hollow buildings. We'll start with the two towers first, since we were just talking about that. So here's one of the hollow buildings, and I've got to say this is magnificent. I know
Yeah.
I tried building in the hollow builder myself, and I actually built like an AK logo. I built Parthenon on there, which I thought was awesome. And then I saw in the E2 Discord chat someone built it like 10 times better. I'm like, oh man, all right.
I saw some builds and people saying it took them like 24 hours total to build it. I was just like, I can't, right? I can't do that. I really hope
Right.
they find something more intuitive for noobs like myself who aren't programmers naturally and need a little help with that stuff. But I think it's magnificent what the community's been doing so far again, and it just shows the the creativity out there
Oh,
that
definitely.
people have and the ingenuity. It's amazing. It blows my mind. The type of genius level people we have in this community doing things. I mean, it's magnificent. I don't know how he did it. And
Yeah, it's mind blowing, and like you said, there's some people like the Parthenon I built, for example. I don't have a picture of it right here, but I shared it in the YouTube Discord, and like I put a lot of work into that. Like it took me a couple days to build that. I was proud of it, and it looks good. But then you go into Discord chat and you see all these other ones, and then there's one in particular, and I can't remember the name of who did it. And but he's done some amazing work, and I'm just seeing all of his work, and I'm like, okay, like I can't be mad because he is good at what he does. But you're right. It's like how in the world did people have this such creative mind to be able to build something like this?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I love it though. Again, it's just we're gonna see so much more of this stuff from people in the community who are this type of stuff just clicks with them. It's and we got a Kraken boat here. This right here was Pirate Lord Ronald. I think
That
he
is
submitted
awesome.
that to I think he submitted that to some contest, but he figured out how to color the flags.
Wait a second.
Yep.
Now it can only be red. Like, is it because it's misplaced or something?
I don't know. I don't know, but he did it.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know. From my understanding, you can actually like misplace item or a building when you're doing the hollow building, and it'll be red. But for him to have all three flags red and then the K on the flag white, that's odd.
Mm. Well, he's one of those super geniuses that I've been talking about. The Kraken is full of them. I learn
Right.
I learn more just reading that chat every day than I do if I read like 100 books, man. It's incredible.
Well, that's awesome. So I want to ask you, since hollow buildings actually came out, and from what you've seen, have you created any hollow buildings yourself?
No, I haven't. I've been in there. I've fumbled around with a couple blueprints, but I've been so intimidated by it and seeing some of these things, and I'm just like, I don't have enough patience right now, or hours and hours to spend doing it. So I have not really explored as much as I should or as much as I could have with it yet. No.
Gotcha. Okay. I know it is a little bit intimidating, but I did see though that they should be, or they probably will be, adding these to the bazaar so that you can actually buy a blueprint from other people.
Oh, really? That would be
There,
nice.
I know there's a few people who hope for that because you know, um, there's been some of these designs that I would love to be able to just to buy. Set it for $100, I'll still buy it. But
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's going to be a good feature. And there's going to be some people who can make some really good money doing that.
right, and I do got to point out though there is, for example, um, if that functionality comes out, I know. I don't know if you've heard of Guidebook Gaming's their Twitch every day, but I know Nameless has said this a bunch of times as well. Where if that functionality comes out to be able to buy the blueprint, don't buy it until you can place it on your tiles. Because if you can't place it onto your tiles yet, there's really no reason in buying it. And so that's one big thing that I want to just call out. I don't know how. What do you feel about that?
That's a good insight. I mean, if you can't put it down, or maybe it doesn't fit on whatever tiles you might have, that's that's something you want to take into consideration for sure.
Brian?
Another interesting aspect with them is the storage aspect that I'm sure
Yes.
you've heard about. That they're going to be storing your resources. My main question with that is like, do you have to have one on every property that you own? Because that would just be insane amounts of work for people with
Well,
thousands of different tiles and properties.
right, and I 100% agree with that. And I know there's been speculation around a lot of different people. They did say though you only need basically a 10 by 10 by 10 cube on your property, and that's the max because I think 1,000 volume is the max volume that you can store properties on or store resources on. So if you have anything above 1,000 volume, you can, but it will only hold up to 1,000 volume of resources on that document. It says that in that document. So that's one key thing that a lot of people miss. And I don't know if you just need a 10 by 10 by 10 cube on each of your properties, or if you have it on one of your properties, it's for all your resources. We don't know that yet. That's another question that's unanswered right now.
So many of those, right?
There are definitely a lot of unanswered questions, but I have my faith in Earth too. I have my faith in the dev scene, and I'm excited for what's already came, and I'm excited for what's to come. So now there is one other project I want to talk about, and I'm going to actually show it right now. But this
Yeah,
is Bitcoin Island. Is that
it
correct?
actually is.
That is awesome. So I got to ask, how did this come around?
Well, Bitcoin Island came around. Pirate Lord, who was it? Pirate Lord Jolly Roger was researching or just reading different things and came across Basquiat Island in actual real life. That
Mm-hmm.
is Bitcoin Island, where the gentleman from Guatemala, I guess, kind of built out this whole island to operate with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin in particular. And upon looking at Bitcoin Island in Earth 2, noticed that the Kraken already had a project going on there, which was fantastic stroke of luck for us. And he approached, I believe it's Ready Pixel Go or Ready Pixel, who had the project going, approached him with the idea of changing the project into Bitcoin Island, and they collaborated on how and what to do and how to build it. And they have a fantastic plan. Again, one of those projects with every big name in Earth 2 is getting involved. It's not necessarily a Kraken project. Well, it was started by members of the Kraken. This is kind of an everybody project that they've invited everyone you could imagine to be a part of this. And the entire island sold out, I think, in 3 days. We have a bunch of water projects going on now. This
Oh
fantastic
wow.
graphic, you can see the Bitcoin vault in the middle.
Okay, so that's what this will be, the Bitcoin Vault.
Yeah, and then you've got E2 Lion with that fantastic build out over the water. And the goal with this island um, is to sell the middle tile of the Bitcoin vault for 1 Bitcoin, and then donate that to charity to create a bunch of hype for Earth 2, to get a story going, and obviously to donate something to charity. But with
Well,
all
you
the hype
know,
around,
if you donate to charity, you're definitely get on Shane's good side.
absolutely, absolutely.
But no, that's an amazing idea. I mean, I didn't even think of something like that. That is awesome.
Yeah, so the island's got a racetrack. Um, we've got One Tile Nation in there with a huge one tile area,
And is
which I
that
think
this right here?
that's right there. You can see that, and you can see it glowing from the heat map. But over there, he's got a lot going on. A bunch of one tiles. Look at that.
Yeah, this is
You know,
insane.
they did the B all with one tile so that it would shine, and you can see that middle tile glowing on there. And that's Bitcoin Island in a nutshell. It was a secret project for a while it was being developed. We didn't want people coming in and kind of destroying the vision, but it was released to the public, I believe, a few weeks ago. Anybody can join in now and buy around. There is a Discord for it. You can reach out to any member of the Kraken, and they'll be able to get you in the Discord. And we're just looking to really, have a bunch of fun with the place. Try to create a bunch of hype for Earth 2. We brought in as many people as we could, and to all get involved with it. Hopefully, we find a serious buyer for the one tile at the center of the vault that we can donate to charity, maybe make the news and get on Earth 2 on the map a little bit more than it already is. So, a grand vision by Jolly Roger and Ready Pixel, and just an awesome, awesome build so
Definitely,
far.
that's amazing. I mean, just even having that vision from so still early in the game. I mean, the game hasn't even reached a year old yet, basically,
Yeah.
and we're getting close to there, but we're not there yet. And to have visions like that's awesome. I'm glad that we were able to talk about this a little bit, and I'll make sure to also drop a couple links in the description as well, such as to the Kraken Discord, and then also I'll drop a link to the Bitcoin Island as well, so that you can be able to purchase properties on there as well. So we'll make sure to do that as well. So now I know I'm gonna go ahead and exit out of this and go back to the other screen real quick. Now I know we talked about quite a few times about different things that have been happening within Earth 2. Now there was another recent development that came around with jewels, and I know pirates love their jewels. So can I have your take on jewels, on what you
Pirates love the booty, my friend.
exactly?
Yeah, no, I think it's cool. I don't know how significant really they're going to be, but the amount of jewels that I've been collecting, I have a bunch of smaller properties. I don't have a ton of huge properties, and it seems like the small jewels right now are favoring the smaller properties. I've heard of a lot of people with much bigger properties griping about not receiving many jewels. I think that medium-sized properties are going to generate medium-sized jewels. Large properties are going to generate large jewels, and they're going to be significantly better than the small jewels. That's kind of my prediction, anyways. So I think it's all going to come back around for those guys who have the much larger properties. And I don't know. I think it's one of those things that all along they said they're going to try to give benefits to the early investors, which is all of us, and give us kind of perks along the way. And we're going to have massive amounts of jewels all stored up by the time resources actually launch. So I mean,
Right.
it can be a bad thing, right? I mean, um, so yeah, I think it's great, and if that's going to be part of the game, I'm extremely intrigued about fracturing them or breaking them apart to create other things.
Yeah,
Where that
breaking them
goes,
into different shards.
yeah, that sounds awesome and super interesting. So I think that's going to be another fun aspect of your jewels. You know, do you use it to create some extra resources, or do you, you know, shard it out to create something else? I don't know. I don't know.
I know it blows my mind into kind of, and again, this is all speculation, but you know, I've heard rumors where you can break the jewels down and you can create like multicolored jewels that have different
Oh,
abilities, and those are worth more, so you could sell them on the market on the bazaar for a lot more than what you see jewels currently going for on the bazaar. And
yeah.
so, you know, I've heard a bunch of different rumors, and even like when they do release the medium size, the large size, and other sized jewels, I think you know, let's say like 5 small jewels equals 1 medium jewel or something like that. You can merge them up to that. It's all going to make sense once it all comes out, but right now all we can do is speculate, really.
It is. It's fun speculating, though. It's
It
all part
is.
of it. You know, it's very intelligent speculating that everybody's doing.
It really is, and you actually hear some good thoughts, and like, wow, I would have never thought about that, and it's good. Again, this is a community project, and that's what you know we're here to be able to spread the news about Earth 2 in general. So that is awesome.
Yeah, indeed,
All
for
right,
sure.
so we're at the last section of the show, and I do a would you rather question. Now, this is absolutely unrelated to Earth 2, and it's a would you rather question. You got to answer which one you would rather do and why.
Okay.
So, are you ready for this?
I I guess I don't know. Am I?
All right, so would you rather be forced to listen to the same 10 songs on repeat for the rest of your life, or forced to watch the same 10 movies on repeat for the rest of your life?
Hmm. Same 10 movies, because if they're movies with a great soundtrack, you get the best of both worlds.
That is true. Okay. Do you have a list
Yep.
of 10 movies that you would put on that list?
Oh, geez. I'm a movie buff. My list is like 50 movies long. It's so hard making a choice
Right.
on things like that. Older movies. I like the older gangster movies, the Scarfaces, the Goodfellas, things like
Ah,
that.
there you
Like
go. Okay.
Belly. But I like slapstick funny movies too, like Office Space and The Big Lebowski. I love fantasy like The Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and The
Yep.
Matrix, and like I could go on for days and days with awesome movies, man.
Right.
But yeah,
You know, I'm kind of the same. I would probably choose the movies, the 10 movies for the rest of my life too, because I'm a huge music buff and I listen to all types of music. I listen to every single music there is. Besides, like, there's some out there I just don't even try to listen to, but I love all types of music. And there's been multiple sayings of music is your universal language, and I 100% believe that. And any, you know, you can, no matter what mood you're in, you can always listen to a type of music to either uplift your spirits or whatever it needs to be. So. Well,
I agree.
Murpheus, thank you so much for being on the show today. Is there any last things that you would like to promote?
No, really, man. I'm not much of a promoter, to be honest. I want to promote all of Earth too. I want to promote the community. I want to promote relationships. I want to promote anti-beef,
Yes,
anti-toxicity in the community. We need to put that shit aside. We need to be friends. We need to make connections. We need to help each other, and we need to be all on the same side. At the end of the day, Earth 2 is not going to be the only metaverse. It's already not the only metaverse. You
exactly.
got Sandbox, you got Somnium, you got Decentraland, you got Epic Games pouring $1 million into theirs. I'm sure you heard Facebook just talking about that. So
Yep,
so it's about us making Earth 2 the best one, or
yep.
making it one desirable to be in. And if we got beefs going on, or if we got crappy builds, or we got toxicity, new people are going to come into Earth 2 and they're going to leave right away and go to another one.
I
So
agree with you 100%. That
about,
toxicity has to go.
you know what I mean? Everybody.
Yes, indeed. Well, Murphy, thank you so much again for being on the show. And for everybody that's watching, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Comment below what your favorite part is. And until next time, everyone, snoke out. Thank you.
My pleasure.